And then Shohei, I mean, he's a goofball, dude. When he got let go, it was a sad day. I think we both shed a tear in his office. So 2023, I felt like we had a chance to really do something. And, we were buyers at the deadline, and,
introduction, Mickey. Maybe we should have you got Ken Rosenthal talking about you that highly. Maybe I don't know that Kevin Pillar could have introduced you any better than Ken Rosenthal. Let's try it, KP. Why don't you introduce your guy here?
No, I don't know if I could do it much better, but obviously, good friend of mine, my fantasy football, partner in crime right here. But I guess I'll take the first question. Mickey, when you hear that, do you kind of see yourself as someone who's kind of reinvented himself, or just someone that maybe it just took a little bit longer to get to where you've gotten?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, dude. I think it's a little bit of both. I think, obviously throughout this game, you're always, trying to get better, trying to evolve. The game's always changing, so you're trying to change with it. But, I mean, like anything, I tell people, everyone's career's, different. Everyone's not going to have that straight line to success. And for me, it took, a few years to really get comfortable playing in the big leagues. I was fortunate enough to, debut at 22 years old. So, I was lucky to have that time to kind of figure it out. But, yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but it's just a journey, man. Just got to keep going. I look back and still think back to some dumb stuff I've done. So, I think, looking at it, but, hey, we don't have that salary cap. So I think, in the long run,
hallelujah,
try to keep it that way.
Mickey, what's changed for you since you've gone to Colorado? Is it just consistent opportunity? Is it change of scenery? Is it working with someone within the Colorado's Rockies organization? What's really changed? Because these last year and a half has been, really, really good for you.
Yeah, I think it's just getting the opportunity. Getting over to Colorado, they believed in me day one. I think just, having that belief from the organization and from the coaching staff was huge for me. I think just the city, my wife's family's from Colorado, the comfortability there. The guys on the team, last year is obviously what it was, not a fun year overall, but, the guys on the team kept pushing. We're young. Shafe taking over, he was, huge and making sure we're staying on track, making sure we're not taking this for granted and learning from it. And, ultimately, I think just the potential to build something special here, I think is, something that excites me. And I think it's just been a perfect fit so far.
First, trying to let you be you. What does that mean? You write your name where you want to hit in the lineup? Because fans don't understand what being you is. You came up through the Phillies organization, and I have some arguments of the people that they were running the organization when you got through there, but we won't make you drag them through the mud. I'll let you get off, and I'll drag them through the mud. But what does that mean? What does that mean for a player? Because tons of teams are looking for value that you're giving, and everybody had a shot at you. And they didn't pick you up.
Yeah, I think, honestly, it's just, you go out there and early on in my career with Philly, I think it was, I was going in every game trying to go 5 for 4, just trying to get those 5 hits to, have the chance to play in the lineup the next day. And, at that time, Philly was built to win, and, they really didn't give me too much of a leash. And I understand that. I get the nature of the game, and there's a lot of money out in that field and in that organization at the time. And, I think you guys know it's just about getting experience, getting consistent at bats, and just kind of learning. The big leagues is tough, and it takes time to kind of figure that out. And, some guys it happens like that, and other guys, it may take, a couple hundred at bats to really get your footing. But, I think it's just, here in Colorado, I'm going out there and I'm doing everything I can to help the team win. And, I know I'm going to be in the lineup the next day. And going to have a chance to do it again tomorrow.
Mickey, did you feel pressure from the Philly fans? Was Eric Kratz one of the fans that was there booing you every day because he's a big Phillies fan? Do you think he was in the stands? And did you hear a specific taunt from Eric Kratz in the Philadelphia stands when you played there?
I mean, there was a few of them. Kratzy, were you there?
It wasn't me. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me.
All right.
Because I thought it was like the PCA video. Kratz was the guy, down there by the front row out there screaming at you. He had that.
That I know is not true because I never sit near the front row. I'd much rather sit in the second deck right behind home plate to be able to see the whole field. But anyway, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was, it's a passionate fan base. I think, they, when you win, best fans in the world. And then if you're not doing well, they'll let you know. So, Kratzy, if you were there, it's all good, dude.
Mick, what
By the way, Mickey, you went from the Phillies, you went to the Angels, now you're at the Rockies. What was it like? Because I talked to Phil Nevin about you. He absolutely loved working with you when he was the manager of the Angels. What were the Angels like? Because we talk about the Angels a lot and what's going on there. What was it like playing for the Angels?
I mean, first off, when I got traded there, I'm an hour away from home. I grew up in San Diego, still live in San Diego. So it was cool to be able to kind of have my family come up and watch baseball. I was fired up about that. I was fired up to go get an opportunity to kind of go play. And playing for Nev's the best. I think one of my favorite managers I've had in this sport. And when he got let go, it was a sad day. I think we both shed a tear in his office. I went in there to kind of say, "Hey, I'll see you in spring training," and that wasn't the case, and that was a tough day. So still bummed about that one, but. It's you got guys over there, they got talent, and I think it's one of those things where KP, you're over there. Guys were getting hurt. 2023, it was like, I think our whole lineup missed at least a month. Shohei went down with the oblique. Mike with the hamate. Tony had his shin, fractured his shin. Drew, you go down the whole thing. It was like a whole month. So 2023, I felt like we had a chance to really do something. And, we were buyers at the deadline. And, we obviously didn't work out due to, I would say, injury. But, for me, being close to home was awesome. The fans there are great. The players, the guys over there, good group of guys. So, yeah, I don't know. It unfortunately, it came to an end. But, happy to be in Colorado.
I'm going to be like every other person that you kind of know but don't really know when talking about the Angels. What was it like to play with Mike and Shohei? Playing with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. And what was your feeling when you were coming there? When you got traded there, or did you get claimed by the Angels? I should know.
Traded.
Okay.
Yeah, deadline at 22.
20. So. I knew it was 22. And then you went there. What was it like going there? Because that's the first team you ever changed to. And anytime I ever changed to a team, got traded, DFA'd, whatever it was, I was like, oh, whoa, yeah. They got Christian Yelich. They got Ryan Braun on this team. Dang, I'm going to the Yankees. It's Judge's rookie year. Like, you think about that. So how was it? How was your, I want to see these guys compared to the real life Mike and Shohei show?
I mean, they're both just normal dudes, man. I think the biggest thing, Mike is, one of the coolest dudes, nicest dudes. You talk to him and, you wouldn't think he's, one of the greatest players of our generation. Just, by the way he goes about his business and just the kind of person he is. If anything I needed, he was always there to kind of, bounce stuff off of. And then Shohei, I mean, he's a goofball, dude. He's messing around, believe it or not, for the most part. I mean, he's on his own schedule though. He's pitching, once every when I got there, he's pitching once every 6 days, and then also going out and hitting. It seemed like a homer every night. But he was on. He'd go throw his weighted balls, wouldn't take BP. And then hour before the game, like clockwork, he'd be in there, doing his whole routine down to a science, and then go out there and do what he does.
Mick, give me your take on your current team. Are you starting to see like the pieces in place where the Rockies, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, do you guys believe that you guys can go out and win a ton of games and be kind of a threat in the AL West?
Absolutely. I think it starts from up top, dude. And I think we got the right guy, at the managerial job. I think Shafe is, when he took over. I remember coming into Colorado last year. I tell the story to a lot of people, but the first day I was there, just interacting with him, I truly thought to myself, I go, this guy needs to manage one day. And it was a month later. Obviously, didn't see it coming. Didn't think it was going to be that quick. But when he took over, if you guys ever get a chance to talk to him, dude, he's the man. He's bought in. He's in it with us. You walk in the clubhouse at 12 o'clock every day. He's bench pressing 225 for 10 as a warm up. He's in there. He's one of the boys. Good communicator. So I think when you got a guy like that, it's that's the start. And then obviously getting the right guys. We got a lot of young talent in this clubhouse. Depot and the front office have done a good job bringing in some veteran guys to, kind of keep things steady in there and kind of just teach these young guys the ropes. I mean, we got Q, who's been doing it for 15 years. We got Lorenzen. Tomo Sugano has been huge for us. We got Willie Castro coming in. We made some good trades, picking up Eddie and stuff like that. So, you're seeing it on a daily basis. We're obviously in a better spot than we were last year. Not hard to do, but I think just the games we've been playing, even our losses, you can look at those and say, we were one hit away here or one pitch away here from, almost, being close to 500. And we talk about it all the time. And I think that's just the start. And, it's baseball, and just going to continue to try to build on it. But yeah, I think I got high hopes for this organization in the coming years. And, I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Mick, I got to know about the spider situation. Are you afraid of spiders? Your wife kills the spiders in your house? Like what's going on here? Right here, just killed another spider.
Oh,
what's going on?
Yeah, that's fake news, dude. She is not. She was probably home alone there. It looks like, yeah, I think I was probably she probably was back in San Diego by herself. Didn't have anybody else to do it, but no, I was proud of her for that one. That was probably one of the 3 she's killed in her whole life. So,
and by the way, don't ever call your wife a smoking hot cougar, because
she is. She's got 3 months on me. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
That's why she has to kill the spiders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's a killer. Somebody's gonna. I mean, it's no cockfighting with Edwin Diaz, but somebody's coming after her for killing a spider. So just so you know, just so she's ready for that smoke.
Yeah, she can handle it. She'll be all right.
What do you do? We haven't had you on the show. You're freaking awesome. You're a really nice guy. Seems like. What do you do in your free time? What gets you to be like, all right, good. I can step away from the field to do this.
I mean, I got a dog. He takes up a lot of time. He's just a year old, golden doodle. So, I think in Colorado we live by a place called Wash Park, and I feel like any free time I get, I'm just taking him for a walk around the park and just kind of relaxing. Growing up in San Diego, go drive by the beach, go hang out at the beach, just relax, man. I think this game, it's a high stress game. Do it 162 times a year, and any chance you get to just kind of turn the brain off and enjoy life is that's just what I'm looking to do.
Does your dog ever look up at you and go, man, why are we at such a high elevation?
I mean, it's definitely when he runs up the stairs. He's
gassed.
I'll have him. Oh yeah. He's just. Listen, if there's an intruder coming in the house, he's not doing much. Let's put it that way. So he's the best though. He's a good boy.
But
right,
clearly,
so-
clearly your wife will, because we've talked about this. She's the real protection in the house, not the dog.
Exactly. Yeah, she'll give her one of these, and I got actually my screensaver is her as a little kid going like this to her dad. So that's one of my favorites. She's definitely taking down the intruder.
Okay. All right. So the reason I said you're a nice guy, I have this picture from last summer. You probably didn't even know it was me, but I have this picture from last summer. You were very willing to take a picture. That's Mick in the middle at Fenway.
I remember
all
that.
These,
Yeah.
You remember this? Okay. So I asked you to take a picture. Okay. And my son's not in this picture, but it's all it's his baseball team. They were up in Boston having a game, and we got on the field, blah, blah, blah. I had asked the guys on the team, I was like, hey, Veritek had come over. I was like, hey, you guys want to meet Jason Veritek? And they were like, I don't know who that is. And then they said, and then Liam Hendricks came over, who was rehabbing for the Red Sox, said, hey, you guys know the mate? You guys know Liam Hendricks? You know, they were like, I really don't know. And it's a bunch of kids from Philly, Northern Philly, and you came out to hit BP after we watched all the Red Sox guys come through, everybody. And they were like, whoa, they were like, Mickey Moniak, oh my gosh. And so I asked you to come over and you took a picture. So I really appreciate you taking that picture. And it's cool that you remember it. But I have another picture that I need you to make sure, this is what I do as a veteran guy, to call you out. Do you see your toes there? That's Mickey's toes in the black shoes.
Listen, hey, you guys are big. I don't know what you're feeding these kids these days, but, kids are throwing 95 when they're 13 now, and apparently, 6'2" at however old your kids are. So, look, I got no defense for that. It's either that or I'm, just sneaking my head around the side. Then you don't know who the hell's in the picture.
For the people who are listening, it's a picture of Mickey standing behind all the 16-year-old, 15 and 16-year-old boys, and Mick's on his toes so that he looks like he's the tallest in the group. I appreciate you coming over.
Look at that. Hey, I'm not even over. Look, the chin's still at the head level right there. And that's on the tippy toes.
There's some big boys.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. But that's awesome.
I love
For
it.
anybody who doesn't know, coming over during BP and taking pictures with fans is not mandated. And you did it with a smile, and you made their entire tournament. So I appreciate that.